everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me May or MG if you'd like. Today I am going to be talking to you guys about the 10 fantasy series that I want to give a try at some point in the future. They're not really anything that I'm prioritizing at the moment, but whenever I get the chance, I'd like to give them a shot and see what they're all about. So the first series on this list is The Magicians by Lev Grossman, and I sort of know what happens in this. I watched some of the show. I definitely didn't watch all of it. I think it was only the first 2 seasons, maybe 2.5. But I also know that it's quite different from the books. But it was intriguing enough that I really would like to read the books. I've heard it be called Narnia but for adults, and that seems pretty accurate based on the show at least, and intriguing enough that I want to try it out. Then we have the absolute monster that is Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. There's 14 books in this series, and they're all over 1,000 pages or something like that. That's insane, but it is the quintessential long fantasy series, I feel. And I want to at least try to read the first book, maybe. I know Stieg has listened to the Rosamund Pike audiobook and thought it was very good, so maybe I will do that. I would have to read along physically because I'm not a just audiobook person. I can listen if I'm also reading along with the words. But yeah, that's quite the commitment and not one I think I'm ready to make anytime soon. Another long classic fantasy series that I really want to try out is the Discworld books by Terry Pratchett. The only Terry Pratchett I have read so far has been Good Omens, which he co-wrote with Neil Gaiman. You can see it over my shoulder here. I have 2 copies of it. And I really loved that. So I just know that Discworld is so funny and weird, and Jess, I believe, was recently reading one of the Discworld books. I don't know. There's a million different places you could start with that. And I don't know, she said that there was a joke about the creation of the universe that she just found so funny that she couldn't stop laughing about it. And this is one where I really, really, really want to start. I just don't know where. So gotta figure that out. Next up is the Tales from Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. I've been wanting to try out Ursula K. Le Guin's books for so long, and I have no idea why I haven't yet, but I think Earthsea is going to be the first one that I try. I think the first book is called A Wizard of Earthsea, and Violet has said that there is a slight chance that it becomes a book club pick at some point in the future. It's one of the books on her radar, so that would be a good push to get me to read it. And I don't really know much about it, but I am intrigued. Speaking of the Nostalgia Train book club, the next series that I want to read is His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. This is a trilogy, the first one being the Golden Compass or Northern Lights or whatever million other titles this book has. And this actually was a pick for the book club. I believe it was December 2021. But I could not get my hands on it. I just didn't have access, so I didn't read it, but I would like to eventually. The next series on my list is the one I'm probably the most wary about, and that is the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. I really don't know much about this. I just know it's urban fantasy, and I think it's a private investigator or something like that. And I think there's a million books, but I just hear so many people talking about it that even if it's not really my vibe, I want to at least give the first book a shot. The next series on my list is one that I'm most definitely not going to like, but I do want to read the first book just in case it surprises me and I do enjoy it. But that is The Dark Tower by Stephen King, and this is a series I feel is very polarizing. You either love it or you hate it, at least as far as I've seen. But I know it's kind of a weird one. I think book 7 or 8, Stephen King himself shows up as a character. That's the kind of weird we're dealing with. But I don't think I'm the biggest fan of Stephen King. I've read quite a few of his books and I've enjoyed them. I've not really loved any of them, but I've liked them enough that I'll give The Dark Tower a shot. Then we have what is actually several different series that are all interconnected that has been talked about so much on BookTube in the past like 2 years, and that is The Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. I think there's like 16 books across 4 or 5 different series, and I've heard fantastic things about it. Like, I don't think I've heard a negative thing about the series, except maybe there's like one series that's like all about dragons, and people were like, it focuses a little bit too much on like dragon mating and stuff like that. But other than that, I've only heard great things, and I like didn't get on the hype while everyone was talking about it, and now I feel like everyone's finished the series, and I'm like, oh, but wait, now I kind of do want to read them. The next series is the Books of Shannara. I don't know the actual name of the series itself, but those are by Terry Brooks. And like The Magicians, I have seen the TV show for this one. The TV show is like not good, but it's entertaining. There were 2 seasons and it ended on such a cliffhanger, but we're not getting a third season. Um, but like I really love the concept of this series, how it's like not some far off magical fantasy world. It takes place in the real world, like thousands of years in the future, where there was like some apocalypse, and then like after 90% of the population like died off, magic came back to the world, something like that. It just sounds so cool, and I'm very interested in reading the books to find out more about that we didn't get to know in the series. In the last series on my list is The Witcher by, I'm gonna try not to butcher this, Andrzej Sapkowski. I don't speak Polish. I believe it's Polish. So that might have been very wrong, but that's how I would have pronounced it. And this is one where, like, everything I know about this series makes me think that I would love it. Like, all of the vibes are there. I just have no connection to it. Like, I've never read the books, I have not seen the show, I've never played the video game, but I do love all the vibes that I know about it. So I've been told so many conflicting things. Like some people are like, oh, if you're just getting into it, start with the show or start with the video game. Other people are like, read the books, but like read these books and then watch the show and then read these other ones and all this different stuff. And I'm like, that's so much. I think I'm just gonna start with the books and read it through and then see if I like any more. But yeah, lots of things going on in that fandom. So those are the 10 different fantasy series that I would like to try and read some of at some point in the future. Let me know down in the description if you've read any of these, whether or not you liked them, which ones you think I would like. If you know my tastes, like if you've seen the kind of books that I read, you might be able to guess. Anything like that, I would love to know. Oh, my cat is approaching me. But yeah, that is all for me. And now Chloe is here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.